where's my mother at? My mother? Oh, she was sitting over there. And my older brother and my sister from coming into town. And my insurance agent just make sure I don't die. He's got to validate something. I don't know. He told me I got to go to the bathroom, but I don't know. And then also Lauren and Nicole, and for coming. But it's been 35 years, and just to go over when I first started. My mom, I don't know if she remembers this. There was an ad in the paper. That UPS was hiring seasonal people. It was in 1982. So had to go to Holiday Inn over there on Bristol Road, right across from the VA plant. When I get there, there's like 200 people in this room at the Holiday Inn. And I go, and I really didn't know anything about UPS. I'm thinking, there's no way they're gonna hire me, But I stayed. Ron Craig, she knows. You guys remember Ron Craig? So when he'd get a group of people that was done with the application, he'd take you into another room, and then he'd go over the spiel. Going to collect your information, make sure you have an answer machine. If you don't have an answer machine, you got to make sure you answer the phone. We're going to make one call. We'll leave a message. We'll give you 48 hours to respond. So I get home, and Mom asked me, and I said, oh, geez, there was 200 people there. So I went to college the next day, went to U of M. I get out, I stopped over, and it was Charlie Hyde and Don Waite on the counter. I walked in and I said, hey, is Ron Craig here? He goes, yeah. He goes, did they call you? And I go, no, I just want to talk to him. So he goes and gets him, he comes through the door. Ron Craig became a really good friend of mine. He retired maybe 15 years ago. And he comes through the door and he goes, have I met or anything? I go, no, I was over at the Holiday Inn and just wanted to see how things are going. He goes, well, maybe you didn't understand. I'll call, make sure you got an answer machine, and make sure you respond within 40 hours. And I said, okay, no problem. He goes, you have a nice day. I said, okay. So I left, went to college the next day. On the way back home, stopped in, went in through the door, and Don Waite, Charlie Hyde sitting there, and they go, oh, you got lucky, you got a phone call. I go, no. I just want to see if they came across anything, any hiring. And he goes, I said, is Ron Craig here? He goes, yep. And I said, can you go get him? He goes, you sure you want me to do this? And I go, yep. Ron Craig comes through the door, and he looked at me, and he goes, we haven't called anybody. He goes, you do understand, right? And I go, yep, just want to make sure. And he goes, okay. He goes, why don't you write down your number? And I wrote down my number, and I gave it to him, and I took off. And I waited a day, went back, moved to the door. Charlie Hyde sitting there, and he goes, finally, he called you. I go, no. And he goes, are you sure? Do you want me to go back? Go get him. He comes through the door. I remember he opened up the door, and he just stops. He goes, really? And I said, yeah. He goes, come with me. We went over and we seen Don Tour. Don Tour sitting in the office smoking a cigarette, and he goes, hey, this guy, he's wanting to go to work. And he looked at me and he goes, okay. And I'm sitting there going, oh boy, And he goes, can't start you until October the 1st. So when I came into work, we were just talking about it. Don Tour goes, we'll see what you got. He puts me in door 18, Toledo. And I was in there working, and I got the slide all caught up, and it was packed up. He comes up there on that catwalk with a cigarette, and he goes, you haven't been working too hard. I go, yeah, I got everything cleaned off. He goes, nope. And he takes the package, it was stuck in the slide, and he goes, and that whole thing, about 400 packages come flying in the trailer, and he goes, work a little harder. He leaves. I get it all cleaned up, the chute's all cleaned up, he comes up and he picks up the slide and he goes, wow, you're all caught up. Go to door 15. And I said, well, who's going to do mine? He goes, go to door 15. I go to door 15, he comes in there, smokes a cigarette. He goes, hey, door 18's backed up. And I go, I've been in here. He goes, you're backed up, go over there and start working. And I go, geez. So anyways, I worked through that and the experience of doing package, AM, PM, or reload, preload, HR, safety, going throughout this whole district, New Jersey, Louisville, Chicago. The most important thing is the people. And obviously, it's you that makes this company. And there's times that we disagree or agree, but the whole bottom line is, doesn't matter where you work at, it's the people that makes the company work. And bottom of my heart, I appreciate you taking the time to come, and it was my pleasure really serving you to make your job easy with the training. And my newest candidate, Dave Hemsaw, Winston, Brian Ivory, I gave you my all that last 45 days. And okay, go ahead.
Why did we work both along?
Hey, on that one there, we got a little smart. My dad would always say, hey, when I get back, that lawn better be mowed. We take a hose, we suck all the gas out of the thing. My dad come home and go, hey, we didn't mow the lawn, there's no gas.
Dropped it all off. I trained him to be a truck driver.
See, back then there was only communication with the CB, and my dad, he was paranoid about having loose gas, no gas cans, so he would siphon gas out of his dump truck for us to mow the yard before he left. So he'd siphon gas in, and Mom, when she got us up, she goes, your dad put gas in the lawnmower, he wants a lawnmower mowed. So when Don and I went out there, we're putting these two heads together, and we didn't siphon it, we took rags and we dipped in there until we sucked all the gas out. And so we went in and we told Mom, Dad must have forgot to put gas in. I'll never forget, my mom got on the CV and she goes, Charles, they said there's no gas in there. My dad said, I don't know what happened, but when I get home, we'll take care of this mess, because I put gas in the gasket. And my dad said, I don't know what you guys did, but it never happened again. I mean, the stories. Oh, we did that a lot too.
I was training him to drive the car, I was training. So we're going down Pit Road, he gets real close to the curb with a return. I said, Donald, you're getting too close to the curb. He said, this is what my driver instructor said. I said, okay, well, he gets to the curb like this, and the car is tilted up. What do I do? I said, well, I guess you're going to have to call your instructor.
Oh boy, the stories, I mean.
So they are, all of them in town is why I'm popular. They turned
You
the
can't top
TV
that.
off.
You can't top that.
You weren't caught on that, were you?
No, it wasn't. That took me for a little loop. Does anybody got anything they want to say?
Good job, Hawksman.
Good job.
You're the boss.
Hey, give the phone call away, but I'll be charging. I'll be charging. You have me for 4 more weeks. I'm on vacation, and then I'm retired. But
$5 a minute.
Ronnie needs to put in the work right away because it's pretty boring the first couple of years you're retired.
I'm sitting home rehabbing my shoulder.
Yeah, you're looking good too.
Thank you. And so Andy gives me a call and says, what do you think about Don Driver's pitching? And maybe it'll be enough to send Don and Gil on maybe a bike.
Excursion.
Biking, kayaking.
What, you trying to kill me?
So anyway, there's brochures that Andy's wife threw in here. So there's brochures. There's enough here to make it a real good.
Man, I appreciate it. And I want to thank everybody. Bill helped me throw this together with all the contacts and names. And I can't believe we pulled it off. I couldn't tell how many times in the last month I've been sitting with Don and either he would text me and I couldn't talk, or I'm so used to just talking to Don all the time and say, man, remember, we've got to be there at 4:30. But it all worked out great, and I'm so happy everybody showed up. Thanks, Don.
Good job.